Question is asking at best stifles democracy. So what does it tell us? How does anti-defection law stifles democracy? That is a question in our mind. Then at its worst,
सर मैंने
it is
भेज दिया.
okay. At its worst, it butchers democracy by it being a game of numbers. So first, once you start writing introduction में, what can be the various types of introduction for this question? First can be what is anti-defection law? है ना? या recent event, the Nawam Rabia case, or the political crisis in Maharashtra. That can be our introduction. Or a generic theme. See, introduction can be either a fact or philosophy. A generic theme, criminalization of politics. But idea is better introduction or more targeted introduction is the first two, not the third, but third, it is a more philosophical approach. Yes, anti-defection law was brought to curb criminalization of politics in the form of what is known as horse trading. And it is a debate whether it is being able to do so or not. Okay. So now,
So democracy का definition से start कर सकते हैं.
that would be going like one step before. वो थोड़ा सा क्या है कि tertiary या secondary level linkage हो गया. Question is not on democracy but stifling of democracy. And it is focused on anti-defection. तो democracy पे कोई directly question हो तो वहाँ पर what is democracy लिखिए. अगर question ऐसा होता है democracy is strengthened by many institutions and instruments, then you could have written about what is democracy. So what is anti-defection law?
Okay.
In very simple terms, anti-defection law or 10th schedule of the Constitution brought by which constitution? Brought by 52nd and strengthened by 91st. Do mention these 52nd and 91st Constitutional Amendment Act penalizes. What does it penalize? Defection of legislatures, not legislatures, legislators.
Movement of legislation.
If they change their original party and join another by disqualification. एक सिंपल व्हाट इज में आपने सारी बातें बता दी कि इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट से आया है. डिफेक्शन को ये पिनलाइज करता है बाय डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन. दैट इज योर एंटी डिफेक्शन और द 10th schedule of the constitution. That can be very lucid, good introduction in a polity paper. Always quoting from the constitution is a good introduction. Or you could have quoted from recently Nawam Rabia case is in news, which again questions the impartiality of the speaker, the independence of legislators in case of anti-defection. That can also be an introduction. Now body. Question is asking at its best, it stifles democracy into party centricism, and at its worst, butchers democracy in a game of numbers. So when anti-defection is working at its best, there are some advantages, but there are some disadvantages. When it is not working properly, obviously there will be disadvantages. So body. Functioning, or better would be right, challenges of anti-defection. and use at its best. Does anti-defection stifle freedom of expression?
Yes, sir. Also, you have to, even slightest disagreement can cause you to get a whip. I wrote that.
Correct. So first point is undermine representative and parliamentary democracy. इसके डिस्क्रिप्शन में legislators no longer have freedom of speech and expression, which is their parliamentary privilege, and have to follow what? And are forced to follow the party whip. है कि नहीं? They have to vote according to the party whip. So does it degrade the kind of discussion in parliament? Because ultimately you have to vote according to the party line. So is it eroding the level of debate, discussion and dissent?
Yes.
Yes. Undermines the quality of debate, discussion and dissent. It has promoted disruption. Many times you will see that legislators collectively disrupt the house. They stop its functioning. And according to PRS data, the number of working hours has gone down. Or there is another PRS data. Can anybody tell me the PRS data with respect to number of bills being passed? वो डेटा याद है किसी को? कितने समय में बिल्स पास हो रहे हैं?
सर निकाला था ना कि बहुत जल्दी जल्दी पास हो रहा है, लाइक सम आई फॉरगॉट सर, निकला था ये न्यूज़पेपर में.
हाँ, PRS डेटा का एक, as far as I remember, only 20 to 25% of business of parliament is for passing bills. There is what is known as bulletin. Bulletin has become normal. Now, at its worst, what is the problem with anti-defection?
That a 2/3 member can walk up and form a new party, and there is no guideline right
Does
now.
not penalize wholesale defection. Merger is allowed if 2/3 defection and not penalized. Brings into controversy the impartiality of the chair, speaker. Yes or no?
Yes.
So these are some of the challenges now, because it is asking comment. So you will not leave it at just this. One more thing, you at its worst you can write resort politics led to criminalization, corruption in politics. Now reforms, Supreme Court, In Quixote-Holland case, the actions of speaker are subject to judicial review.
Judicial.
Yes. Then any other Supreme Court case? Yes, this Nabam Rabia case, that also you can write. Nabam Rabia case, speaker cannot decide disqualification if his or her own continuance is in question. Then National Commission for Working of the Constitution. National Commission ने क्या बोला है? वेंकट चलैया कमीशन. The disqualification under 10th schedule should be decided by
Speaker.
Speaker तो अभी डिसाइड कर रहा है. Should be decided by Election Commission and President, same as other disqualifications mentioned in the Constitution. So even 10th schedule disqualification should be like the other disqualifications mentioned in the Constitution. Then 170th report of Law Commission. It concurs with the Supreme Court's view that there can be an independent tribunal. In conclusion or best practice, you can write, in UK, as a healthy parliamentary convention, Speaker resigns from his party's membership after election. Okay. So now is the question understood? Question was, anti-defection at best stifles democracy. At its worst, it is a game of numbers. Basically, it is not penalizing merger, and at its best, it is converting democracy into party system. It is preventing representative democracy and converting it into party democracy. So we have seen introduction, body, conclusion. Don't write introduction, body, conclusion in your answer, but for your understanding, I have written. Obviously, the last sentence of the question is the answer. So we will be doing this exercise every day. 30 days, we'll be doing 30 questions. So 6 months, you will have 180 questions, around 200 topics. By this way, also, we can complete by just, see, this is a better model to do current affairs. You will remember it. Now, this is a 1-page note on anti-defection. You can further read on it from your theoretical standpoint from Lakshmikant. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Any doubt, Lipi?
No.
Okay.
सर इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं.
ठीक है, इस क्वेश्चन को अब आप दोनों सबमिट कीजिए लिख के.
Sir, पर क्या मैंने submit?
Okay, I'll check it and send it back to you on the same. Continue in your e-library. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.